Welcome to the design process of this spectacular house that we are designing in Mornington. This house is at its really early design stages. So effectively what happens in the design process is we're starting off with doing a layout. We have an understanding of the site, an understanding of the client brief. There's 4 people in the family, mum and dad, 2 kids. And we're really looking to build this house and maximise effectively what is the most spectacular view in Melbourne. So it sits high up on this piece of land. It overlooks Port Phillip Bay. You've got Mornington Harbour just on one side and Mornington Yacht Club on one side. And what I really wanted to do in this site is not draw any attention to the house whatsoever. I wanted to bury it as low as possible and make it all about the views. I want to go back into a natural Australian native setting. And on this site is this existing maple in this corner here. And the whole house is going to revolve around that. It's got the beautiful big stacking doors that opens up into this courtyard. And of course, here's the view from the house, from the balcony, out onto Port Phillip Bay and Mornington Yacht Club. The existing site comes with restrictions, and one of them is a building envelope. So you can see this yellow box that's been formed around the house. This clear yellow box represents, it's what's known as a building envelope, and it represents a piece of area, a piece of land that you have to build the house within. You can't go outside the building envelope. Along with that, there's going to be height restrictions, there's going to be overlooking issues, but the house structure itself has to be contained inside that envelope. Looking at the second floor, so this is the entrance to the property, and I really again wanted this to be all about the views. You're going to have a property that looks onto the bay. You want balconies, you want some shade, you want shelter. So the house is really revolving around having balconies and the views. I want this beautiful big sweeping entrance. I want to have the driveway, instead of being traditional sort of straight drive-in garage, I kind of want this sweeping effect because I'm going to do a big feature wall and whatnot. Underneath the red car, you can see there this panel in the floor. This is a lift, a car lift, which will then take you down into a space below. And I want to utilise that space because it's a really valuable piece of real estate. But we can't put any windows in it because it's quite a long way underground. So you come in through the front door. You're presented with a really wide hallway. And then big sliding doors onto this maple. So I want to turn this into a courtyard around the maple. You come down the central hallway and you come into the main living areas, the living room, the kitchen and dining. So this is all about the views. These doors along here are all sliding, so you can open up this entire wall effectively onto the balcony. And what's happened in this design, this has been presented to the client already, and we've discussed about the space inside the kitchen. So this is now going to change. We're going to change the size of the fridge. We're going to push back into what was previously the walk-in wardrobe, and will now become a walk-in pantry and butler's pantry. So this was going to be the master bedroom with the views out and the sliding doors out. It's now changed. We're going to keep the ensuite, and of course, I really want to feature this big curved wall clad in stone, and this spectacular staircase which wraps around the stone wall. And I also want to get this huge this big window into it. The office there, you can see with the bed, there's a spare bed. It folds down. It actually retracts back into a cavity in the wall, and there's storage on either side of it. In the morning, this corner, this little this courtyard gets all of the morning light, and it's just spectacular. And you get a really good sense of this with the software, and I'll show you a little bit later on in this video what the sun does. In the floor here, because I couldn't get a window there's a living area underneath this hallway. I really wanted to feature get some skylights in. So the skylights are actually going to go into the floor, and they're going to get all the light that comes in through those sliding doors, and they're going to transfer that light into that lower room. We just want to make sure that we get ample lighting. So that's a little bit of an overview of what is effectively the second floor. The ground floor, which is connected to the ground, is kind of like a basement level. It comprises of 3 bedrooms, a laundry, living area, the big curved wall, and this is that space that's going to be underneath the carport and the driveway entrance. So it becomes a garage, it becomes an area of storage, it could be a workshop, it could be all sorts of things. On the right hand side, you can see how much dirt is going to be retained up there. It's a 6 metre high retaining wall through there. You can see the car lift there, allows easy access to bring in all this equipment down into this room. And the layout of this room down here is evolving. There's a space next to the stairs, which that's going to turn into a trophy cabinet or a bar. I'm going to put in some sort of lounge suite in here. There's going to be a piano, there's going to be a theatre room. You can see underneath the maple, this is all going to be big retaining walls because we're digging in here. Bedroom number 3 is going to have its own ensuite. Can reconfigure this to have a walk-in robe. There's actually extra room in this room because we're going to get a piano in here. Bedroom number 4 is slightly smaller, has a built-in robe, and then of course we've got the master. The master's going to go on this corner of the house. It's got the nice balcony. It's on the corner. We can open up these stacking doors, and the views are spectacular. So it's also going to feature a walk-in robe and an ensuite that's nice and comfortable. We don't need to put a bath in here. We've got another one upstairs. The laundry is going to be ample. And then we've got this beautiful set of stairs, which features the stone wall. And of course, there's a massive window in here that lets loads of light in, because this is all going to be covered and there isn't a lot of natural daylight. I didn't want this room to have the views that we have upstairs. I want to commit those views to the bedrooms. I want to give each of the occupants of these rooms spectacular views, because this is what this property is all about. It's all about being in probably the best piece of real estate in Melbourne. So each of the rooms will have sliding doors or stacking doors that come out onto this balcony, all part of the building envelope. The master bedroom's in the corner, and of course this big the structure here is the spa, which goes up to the balcony there. And the views are going to be spectacular, and we're going to terrace the garden, so the kids have got lots of play space. The views out from the master bedroom, sitting in bed, are just are perfect. And there's enough room in there for a little bit of furniture, a TV, a very comfortable walk-in robe and ensuite. So that gives you a little bit of an insight to the ground floor. And I'm not worrying about colour schemes and styling and any of that at this point in time. I'm just laying down the foundations. People have understood where the sun travels for thousands of years. And one of the best things about these pieces of software is that you can pinpoint the sun any time of day, any day of the year. It's brilliant. So this is what we're looking at: the sun's travel from sunrise to sunset, and looking how it comes into the house and what the effect of the roofs do. In winter, we're aiming at getting in lots of light, and we can see that on the ground floor and the first floor. Light is absolutely pouring into these rooms, and if we look at the sun during winter, we can see that it tracks pretty low over the sky, and we're going to have these spectacular sunsets just right out in front of our views. So this is really early days for this design. I'm not committed to any of the outside textures and materials. I'm going to let that evolve. The roof lines are going to evolve. And it's a work in progress, so stay tuned to see how it does evolve and what the finished product is going to be.